Welcome back, guys, to round 6 of the Rocket series. This will be the final round before a cut to top 8.
And today we're going to have Jesse Garcia versus Brad Thompson. We're going to have a control mirror here today. And just so you know, you may see some MDFC substitute cards in Jesse's deck. They are proxies that have been approved by a judge for the tournament because Jesse had foil and non-foil copies of a card that had to be replaced due to bending. And it looks like Jesse's going to start by mulliganing. And Brad's hand looks very good from here, at least.
Yeah, I've seen a Hall of the Storm Giants.
Yeah,
Triumph, sure. Prismatic Ending, Preordained, Fetch.
And we're all very happy with that.
Yeah, that seems pretty good opening. Counterspell.
In this matchup, there's a couple of very key cards. So first and foremost, Brad has 4 copies of the Ring, which is definitely an issue card if it resolves. However, in this matchup, it does have trouble actually hitting the board. Brad also has 4 copies of Path to Exile, which I'm sure throughout the tournament have been pretty rewarding, considering the amount of basics a lot of people are cheating. But in this particular deck, or against this particular deck, you really don't want to be Path to Exiling them, because the basics in this matchup matter a ton. Whoever hits more land drops tends to be able to play better Magic overall. And it looks like we're going to lead on Fetchland Pass versus Brad's Hall of the Storm Giants into a Preordain. What a powerful card.
Yeah, Brad's choice about the Path of Exiles have definitely probably played big in a lot of his matchups today, because there's a lot of things that once they're exiled, they don't get death triggers. It deals with opponents' Elvish Norns. It's a pretty good choice. Jesse fetches for a Triumph, which I guess that's expected.
Yeah, considering that his deck is running a lot more of the domain cards versus Brad's, which I believe is relatively light on them. Oh no, Brad's also got his domain suite as well. But even then, I think turn 1 fetch into Triumph is like basically where both decks want to be. Although turn 1 Preordain may actually be a little bit stronger than that. Every mana that you can save yourself over the course of the game, including Preordain on turn 1 versus like turn 5, is extremely important. Jesse leading with this Fire and Ice into that Hall of the Storm Giants, though, suggests to me that he could be looking to land a turn 3 Teferi, which would be absolutely devastating for Brad should that be the case.
Looking at Brad's list, we don't see Leyline Binding, we don't see Solitude, we don't see Subtly. The mana base is going for Islands, Plains, and Forests, and I'm going to assume that's for Prismatic Ending, because there's nothing else that substitutes for that, which is a little interesting deck choice. Brad is also on 4 Field of the Ruined.
Field of Ruin?
Yeah, 4 of them.
I don't know how his deck is affording this many.
It's crazy.
Yeah, no, that's insane. Still on 6 basics.
Yeah.
Just cutting a few fetches, maybe 6 fetches. He's just on a bunch of stuff.
He's on this out of left field deck. It's sweet.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
That being said, Jesse is clearly winning the pretty check.
Yeah. Gotta give it to my boy Eli. It's good taste.
Yeah, he's got good taste. Those shocklands are.
Yeah, they're visible.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
you can see which one's which.
Yes, sir.
I'm also a fan of the full art foil Triumphs. My personal use as well.
Yeah, those are awesome. So it looks like Brad is going to play. There's going to be a lot of this. Land go. I am surprised that Jesse did not end step flash in a subtlety. I think that's actually a very strong play in this match.
I think Jesse's trying to fill out if he has any creatures that he plays, and he's going to be very disappointed game 1 when he doesn't get an opportunity to play that, unless it's for the Teferi.
Mm-hmm. Well, what he really wants to do is he wants to lead that card into another threat, right? So maybe that says that Jesse doesn't actually have anything else to do rolled up right now.
Yeah, so Brad's only creature that he's gonna probably have game 1 is a Shark Typhoon Shark.
No subtleties in the main?
No
Solitudes?
Or Solitudes.
Oh my.
Or Leyline Binding.
That explains where all those Path to Exiles came from.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe Brad actually has a lot. No, those are good answers for subtlety. In my experience, playing subtlety end of turn in the mirror is really good because it draws out premium removal. But considering the amount of 1 mana removal Brad has, that's significantly better for him.
The attrition war,
yeah, for sure. Just makes it easier to answer stuff on board. That Field of Ruin hitting. Wow, Jesse is already at
a ton of mana.
9 lands. Stack them up, please.
Do we cast Verdict or we discard Verdict?
Looks like a discard on Verdict.
Yeah, the hand says. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting choice to discard because you kind of want the my stuff can't be countered spells in this matchup.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's really hard to find those like special places you can hit where it's super effective against this deck. A lot of the time, it's going to be 1 for 1 maybe 1 for 2, but it's usually a pseudo 1 for 2, especially considering that Shark Typhoon tokens are a thing. And even if you play a Verdict for 2 Shark Typhoons, you're still the one who's coming out negative in that race, at least in terms of card advantage, which is what a lot of this matchup hinges on.
I also need to point out I am wrong. Hall of the Storm Giants can be a creature as well, and that we will probably see Hall plus Dovin's Veto soon for backup.
Definitely not unreasonable. It's hard to tap out for Hall in this matchup when you're scared of the haymakers from the other deck.
Right.
And I will say that Jesse's deck is not lacking for those at all.
No,
whatsoever.
he's not. He's absolutely not.
What's the suite of win conditions that he's rocking here today?
So Jesse has creature base wise, Solitude Subtly. He also has Shark Typhoon. And then he also has Narset Days Undoing combo. And then he can lock you out also with Gaia Reach Sanctumarium with Narset after he's Days Undoing you to keep you without having a hand or immediately force you to draw or cast what you draw.
Yeah, for sure. That does sound like the easiest thing for him to do because he can hold up that mana the entire time, even as he's casting Narset, and just do it during upkeeps and end steps.
So there's going to be Teferi's out, and then there's going to be a Narset out and a fight over it before it happens, in my opinion.
So let's see. Brad goes to his draw step. Brad's hand is looking
mighty lit.
Yeah, I don't know. Double Prismatic Ending in this matchup is not great. He does have the counterspell rolled up, and he's got a copy of the ring, but it looks like he's going to choose to fight now. So we're going to see a copy of Force Negation in response to this Teferi.
I think we play the counterspell, and then we play the...
Brad says no. Slow down.
Yeah, then we play the counterspell, and then we slam the Dovin's Veto.
And then I think this is actually a great place for Subtlety.
I think Subtlety is going to come down.
Resolves. Subtlety. Oh, Brad is dying. Top or bottom? Top or bottom?
I think we put it on top.
Top or bottom?
I think we put it on top. Yeah,
Top.
that's
Yes,
a card
sir.
you want to fight
Yes, sir.
the match with.
Yeah.
And right here, I think we fire off a path.
I don't
want him to
do it.
untap.
I think we do it in the draw step.
Well, I think you do it. I think you do it before the draw step because he has 2 mana open, and if he has counterspell, he's forced to use it.
I don't think he's forced to use a counterspell on a path to exile. Is the thing.
Well, you want your threat, right? You know Teferi's coming, so
Nah.
like you want to force him to bounce. So that
Who cares?
No.
Nah. Draw 3.
Ugh,
Let's draw some cards.
that's a lot.
Yeah.
So, verdict, Lauren's reveal.
Oh, that's a reprieve. Yes. Hello.
Oh, hi.
I said that to Twitch chat, not this person who walked in. Definitely not. Let's see. Subtlety's probably gonna. Yep.
Get
I'm
path.
gonna eat that path. I'm
Goodbye.
gonna go search for a basic. I believe they're both running 6. Is that correct?
Jesse has 2 plains, 2 islands.
It looks like 3 plains, 2 islands. So I think
You're
we're
right,
on 5.
5.
Yeah.
Brad is on 2
Brad-
plains, 4 islands.
Okay, sweet. I don't
So
think
6
those
and
Path
5.
to Exiles are gonna start whiffing anytime soon.
No.
Although
Jesse has
Jesse
4 in play.
only has 1 more in his.
Brad also plays 4 fielder, and we're about to start seeing reprieve.
Blue Eye Control would suggest that there are fewer colors than Jeskai, but if you look closer,
Here comes the Dovin's Veto.
let's see, reprieve in response. I think there's like a non-zero amount of worlds where Brad is just okay with that, but I'm not sure.
Are we? Nah,
Looks like we're gonna get this
yeah.
Dovin's Veto in. Yeah,
Do you want him to have an extra card? I think is what it comes down to.
yeah, for sure. So we're gonna see this get resolved. We're gonna resolve, and then we're gonna play it Teferi. We're gonna plus Teferi. And presumably, we're just gonna... Oh, he's fetching. I wonder what he's doing here.
I think he has any reason. What's in his hand? His counterspell in his hand.
I'm not
So
sure.
I think he has prismatic ending at instant speed, so now he can have counterspell plus prismatic open.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Prismatic makes 3 mana, but I don't know why you'd fetch now, honestly.
Oh, I don't either.
Yeah.
Here comes the ending. We knew that was coming.
Pending is gonna be good here.
Yeah. Let's see what Brad does about that.
I don't think there's too much he can do about it.
Yeah, that's gone.
Yeah, I mean, considering... So this is what I meant by Brad's hand does not look super great here. Triple Prismatic Ending means that he's just sitting on a relatively anemic amount of cards. Jesse can just start firing any spell he wants off, and it's going to be pretty good.
Oh, we're gonna pick here up, or we're gonna play it?
Kahir is a good place to be right now.
It's a good place.
I don't think playing it is what's on Jesse's mind because he wants to hold up this counter spell.
Another ring. So here goes the
Send the
protection.
ring. Okay, send the ring. It's probably going to earn a counterspell from Jesse.
Question is, do we slam the other
Send
one?
it.
We
He
do.
wouldn't have done it unless he
yeah.
was gonna do both. And now,
Yeah, that's just a little brutal for Jesse.
yeah. Is it though? Jesse has the answer rolled up in his hand. I think he's sitting on a copy of Prismatic Ending, and the ring drawing one card.
Jesse is missing a color for Prismatic Ending. He has just Jeskai showing.
Oh, you are absolutely right.
He
actually,
needs
yeah.
fetch land, and is he playing
Breeding Pool.
Yeah.
He might be, or he might not. You know,
He is playing Breeding Pool.
Okay. So let's see if we can find a fetch here for Jesse.
Or he just could be a Chad and have it in hand.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so it wasn't either of those. Unfortunate.
I don't think Jesse's actually drawn his card for turn. Wait, this is an excellent. Oh,
The Shark Typhoon while
Yeah.
Brad's tapped.
yeah, let's just play it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Can't
it's-
Prismatic a Shark Typhoon.
No, you can't. You
No, you
also
can't.
counterspell.
That's 6-mana card. How many colors are there in Magic, Michael?
Yeah, there's 5.
Yeah, there's 5, right?
The counterspell's looking sweet.
Yeah,
even though you can't cast it.
Yeah, dude.
Slam it, Jesse.
Yeah, just play it. Come on, man. Come on. Yes, sir. That's a Shark Typhoon, baby.
Yeah, that's probably going to be what ends this game if something ends it.
There are technically answers in Brad's deck. None of them are very good.
We have a Teferi bounce.
Yup.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
No, but we've got 2 Teferi bounces, right?
Correct.
Gas. Definitely what we're looking for here.
So we're gonna play Teferi. That's
Yep.
more than likely gonna get. What are we doing with? Oh, we're gonna make it 2/2.
No, tapping Hall, it looks like. Draw a card.
We still cast the.
Oh,
trigger
we're gonna
Did we miss the Shark
we
Typhoon
make
trigger?
we're gonna oh no, he's got it. He's got it.
Okay.
Alright. Now
Yeah, it's a 2/2, right? Because you cast it for 2, you don't
Yes,
get
it
the
is.
4.
Yep. Now here's the question. I don't know if we're actually gonna cast Subtlety here, but I wouldn't actually be super against
Yo,
it.
my boy got 6 shark tokens. Why am I on a
Hey,
token?
yo.
Why am I on a token?
Yo,
I love it.
it's literally my
I love it.
pitching Supreme
Oh,
Verdict makes a lot of sense
so
here.
good.
This is essentially a 1-for-1, even though we're
Yeah, I don't
pitching
hate
Supreme
it.
Verdict.
I don't hate it.
So Counterspell's gonna resolve.
I think Jesse's figured out Brad doesn't play creatures.
Yeah.
All right, so Teferi does resolve.
Okay.
We're gonna
And
ending the
then
token.
Ending the token is interesting.
Brad's also kind of back against the wall.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Shark Typhoon is just gonna happen
Yeah,
again.
you're gonna slam.
Yeah.
Are they not on any spell pierce?
I don't believe that Brad is on Force of Negation or copies of Subtlety.
Brad's got force negation, but no subtlety.
2 copies of Force Negation. I mean, I think
3.
he's still pretty priced into just sending it.
Jesse, no spell pierce. That's so interesting. Not any main board spell pierce.
I mean, I understand it. These control decks are playing games that are long enough to where this mana matters. You know what I mean?
Oh my god, a recast.
Yeah, just make it again. Yeah.
A 3/3
Pending.
and a dead Teferi.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yep. That's what it looks like. Make it 3/3. So the funny part is that this ring is going to get really, really hard for Brad to manage as this game goes on. Because even though he's drawing a million cards, not many of the things he's drawing are going to be good against the Shark Typhoon on board.
look,
So-
if Jesse top 8s with this shark, I'm making him sign it and give it to me.
None of those cards are very super...
Manamo's not too bad. You can loot the ring, but is it really relevant?
Yeah, we can draw a lot of
You can
cards.
kill yourself if you don't get another ring.
Absolutely. I think this Teferi is... I mean, that's the thing about the ring, though, right? Is that it draws so
Yeah, it
many
does.
cards, right?
I don't know
Maybe
if cards are what's going to help this match, because Brad is at a
He's
disadvantage.
floundering.
Yeah.
He's floundering.
So now, does he have Dovin's Veto in hand? Is that why he bounced the Typhoon?
He has counterspells.
I mean, we were going to get a counter war over that, but Dovin's Veto,
Well, we can't get in a counter war right now because the Teferi on board is going to make things pretty hard.
correct.
So
But
maybe
does Jesse have an answer to Fairy is what I'm getting at.
I don't believe he does.
Oh, we're going to recast Shark Typhoon. Now we're going to cast Counterspell. All right. Now we need Gaia, the psych, put on top enchantment. Is he playing that? The recycle enchantments.
Narset is excellent here.
Oh, geez. What's the land that puts enchantments on top?
Oh no! Brad has realized he did not plus that Teferi.
Oh, that's unfortunate. No, because
Yeah.
he bounced the Shark Typhoon.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yikes.
And it looks like Jesse has found his own copy of
Teferi
Teferi.
Reprieve. Teferi's perfect here.
You know, it's funny though. This prismatic ending is actually going to put in work, even though I originally thought that him drawing all of these wasn't possibly going to be good.
What do we do here for Jesse?
Not much. I think he's out of plays this turn.
Yeah.
And he's gonna draw 4, real one.
We're gonna go to 10.
Okay. Go to 10. But I think Brad's actually established a very, very reasonable grip on this game at this point.
Only because of the Teferi. So if it's Teferi,
that
goes
is,
off the board.
hold up. We're gonna have to actually pause the match. He cannot do that.
Judge.
Yeah.
Judge.
Here.
Yeah, Steven, get the judge. Pause the game. All right, Twitch chat. We had extra cards drawn with the ring with a Narset out, which you cannot do. So we are waiting for the judge call that we initiated to fix that. Things do happen when you're playing fast, and the ring is relatively new.
No, you can't do that. Any more heat? Yeah, I got you.
It sure is, Chaz. It sure is.
I got the meat.
Narset is absolutely disgusting in this mirror. We are still waiting on the resolution of how we're fixing this.
No.
And I was like, heartbeats were clean. And then she was like thinking about her next one.
Yeah, I think that's the well, it wouldn't be with 4 cards, it'd be 3 because you're allowed to draw 1 with Narset. He drew 4, so it would be 3 cards. So you have the ability to at least draw 1 card. Narset doesn't prevent that since it wasn't his turn. He did it at Jesse's end step, so it'd be a Thoughtseize for 3, which is not great. This happened during Jesse's end step. He upticked the ring to 4 during Jesse's end step. So he came to turn, and then we had called Judge, realizing that the cards have been drawn at Jesse's end step, going to Brad's turn. So he drew 4 cards and said he's only allowed 1. He still gets the 1 off Narset. Yeah, it's not good for Brad. It's pretty brutal. That's more than likely gonna set Brad way behind. Well, here we go. This is how we resolve this. This is pretty gross. Yikes. Let's see if Brad recovers from this. This is gonna be a really interesting recovery if he does. Alright, so the Thoughtseize he's taken is Path of Exile, Prismatic Ending, and Field Rune. You footage does not matter. This is how they fix game violations like this. Just because it's being filmed, if it wasn't being filmed, there's no way to fix that. right? So if a judge is called and say this is one of the top tables where they're not being filmed, you can't have bias for that. There's a baseline of fixing it no matter what.
Super unfortunate.
It is super unfortunate. Brad just, swung the ball and kind of recovered, so we'll see.
For
But
sure.
yeah, just because he's being on camera and recorded and we know what cards were in his hand by going back, that's not how you resolve judge calls.
Yeah, for sure. It's also worth noting that I do not know which cards were in his hand.
I knew the prismatic ending was a card he had in hand before he drew, but it doesn't matter what
It
I
wasn't.
know.
It wasn't on information about players.
Correct.
Mhm, yeah.
Correct. Doesn't matter what
Looks
I know.
like I think Jesse's picking it up anyways, though. So ultimately, the ring is better than any judge call I can possibly issue. Getting Thoughtseize 3 times apparently does not matter.
Apparently not. Not
Yeah.
with a fairy out in a mirror.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna go on the sideboard, and Jesse's sideboard is kind of cool. I'm seeing a Flusterstorm. I'm seeing an Ashiok the Dream Render. I'm seeing a Wear and Tear, 2 Blood Moon, the Wandering Emperor, Stony Silence, 2 Rest in Peace, Alpine Moon, Blossoming Calm, and Dobin's Veto. Jesse's. I'm not sure why Brad scooped.
Brad Scoop?
Yeah, they gave the win to Jesse.
Oh.
I'm not sure. Probably tilted. He's probably tilted. I'd expect some stuff to come in here like the Wandering Emperor. It's not the greatest in terms of Brad not really playing mainboard creatures, but it does flash in at instep. It does make the knights or I'm sorry the samurais. So like that's pretty easy to get ahead with the samurais at an instep. I think maybe Fluster. Kazi, what do you think?
I think most of the cards you want to bring in are pretty straightforward. We're cutting most of our massive answers to creatures, so that being like Supreme Verdict and things like that. Jesse Garcia's specific sideboard specifically, we're gonna have 1 copy of Flusterstorm, 1 copy of Weretear that can maybe come in. He didn't see any of the ley lines or anything out of, or he didn't see the leyline bindings out of Brad, but he could maybe think that they are there. That being said, I don't think they'll come in. It's very possible that we're bringing in a copy of the Wandering Emperor, likely not bringing in Blood Moons. Could very well bring in Stony Silence, especially considering he doesn't have his own copies of the ring.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Stony Silence is a good one because of Ring. You're right.
There are 2 copies of Rest in Peace that are probably not going to come in. 1 copy of Alpine Moon that may or may not come in. I would assume not, but if he wants a proactive answer to Hall of Storm Giants, I suppose it could. 1 copy of Blossoming Calm, which will likely not come in, and then 1 copy of Dobin's Veto, which will probably do it.
Brad's sideboard, I'm gonna expect engineered explosives and more Dobin's Vetoes and dress downs to come into play.
Yeah, for sure. I think sideboarding with control is usually pretty straightforward unless you want to morph your game plan entirely.
Yeah.
However, a lot of it is going to center on gameplay, which is one of the reasons why I like this mirror so much and why I think it's so entertaining is because most of the time the matchup is determined by the player who can figure out how to navigate it better. There's like less variance than a lot of other matchups because there are so many cards drawn and so little information known to both players. So there's a lot of derivation that goes on versus like other decks that may play a little bit more face up. I personally find that extremely interesting, which is the reason why I enjoy these so much. But at the same time, it's not the kind of Magic everybody likes playing. Sometimes you just want to slam a bunch of haymakers. I wouldn't be surprised if some of these guys bring in some extra threats, especially considering that Brad has a couple of them rolled up.
Looking at chat, you guys, these 2 people know each other and they have no malicious intent towards each other at all. Brad definitely, I'm sure, admitted his mistake, and Jesse is also a pretty understanding person. I'm sure Brad is really upset with himself, but there's absolutely no hard feelings with that.
Yeah, for sure. Brad's upset at anybody. Like, I know him relatively well. I am almost certain that he's going to be more upset with himself than he is at Jesse or anything like that.
Yeah.
He knows he's on stream. He knows he made a really dumb mistake. Sometimes these things happen. I have done worse, and I'm sure my co-commentator has too.
I have definitely done some stuff like
Yeah,
that
for
where
sure.
unscrew a board state. Yeah.
And nothing in that interaction makes me think either of those players did anything maliciously. It was just an unfortunate set of circumstances, and sometimes the penalty for those kind of things is really, really harsh.
So Reno, the mistake was Jesse had a Narset out. Jesse passes turn. Brad has a ring out on 3. He ticks it up to 4 and draws 4 cards.
Using Manamo, he untaps the
Yeah,
ring
he
and
untaps
activates
it
the
with
ring.
Manamo and then taps it again to draw cards.
Mm-hmm.
So he drew more than 1 card with Narset out.
Mhm.
Go back to your phone.
And unfortunately, it's not the kind of situation that we can really rewind. On stream, we don't really have perfect information, so we can't really tell exactly what was in the hand.
Yep.
We may know a card or 2, but even then, not being certain is enough to make it to where a judge can't necessarily tell exactly what is supposed to be going on. Even if we think we know what we're seeing on our end, we're just going to kind of leave it up to them to determine what the best outcome is. The rules say that we have to reveal the unknown set of cards to both players. Those cards are going to be considered revealed, and then that player is supposed to select basically cards equivalent to the number of cards that would not have been drawn. They're returned to the random set, and then the library is shuffled, so on and so forth, right?
We're looking at mulligans here. I think Brad is actually trying to decide what he wants to do with this hand. He kept his hand. Jesse put one back. We're going to start off with a tap Triome. We're going to pass to a Scolding Tarn. We're going to untap. We're going to play the Hall and leave up counterspell magic.
Yes, it is already now at the point in the game where we are now playing around counterspells. This is one of those things where, seeing how the first game played out, I wouldn't have been surprised had Brad decided to take the draw. This is a pretty hefty matchup, or pretty important matchup when it comes to mana is extremely important in this matchup, and having the extra ones matters. Oh, Jesse has actually cited in his copy of Blood Moon. That's
down.
interesting.
I'm down.
Yeah.
He plays a ton of basics. So does Brad.
He plays less than Brad, though.
He does, but I think he's scared of the Hall,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he's also scared of Field of Ruin.
Sure, I can understand that. But at the same time, it's just the constraints that it puts on Jesse's deck almost seem to be more extremes than the one they're going to put on Brad's. Jesse can't necessarily know that, even though he didn't see any Leyline bindings.
Correct.
But he did see a pretty reasonable amount of cards from Brad, especially between the discards and that judge situation. He probably can derive that there
is that a basic plains in his hand?
There is a basic plains in Jesse's hand. It is worth noting that Brad is unfortunately only on one basic, but it is extremely hard to fight over copies of Blood Moon in this matchup. There's sorcery speed enchantments.
Yeah.
So, looks like we're going to go ahead and fetch. What are we going to find, Jesse? Jesse's going to find a tapped Hollow Fountain, which tells me that his plan is probably not going to be Blood Moon.
Yeah, we would have went and got basic our basic plains.
Or just maybe not fetched at all, which is something I actually like doing a lot in this matchup. We're just going to be playing a lot of Drago until one of them actually finds something to do.
I mean, Brad's sitting on a Dovin's Veto. It's never fun to stare at.
For sure. The thing is that Dovin's Veto makes it really hard for either player to be proactive in the matchup, because it's such a good answer to a lot of the proactive non-creature threats that either player can play. And it's not really able to be responded to in a positive fashion.
No, it's really not. Oh, Baneslayer Angel, what?
Decided it?
Yes, he
Yeah,
did.
that card's busted.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, that card's good.
Brad and the Baneslayer Angel.
Hey, that's a 5/5.
Show it to me, Brad.
What's Jesse playing
it.
that beats a 5/5?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Shark Typhoon stuff, maybe? I don't know.
That's probably it.
It's gotta be it.
Yeah.
Ugh, we have a win so Pete, dude. Can we get to Baneslayer plus Dovin's Veto mana? I'm down.
So this is one of those things I want to point out when I was talking about that Blood Moon earlier, is that Jesse and Brad right now have access to basically the same amount of basic lands. However, Jesse's utility lands mean a little bit more to his deck, even with just that one copy of Griory's Sanitarium, because of the amount of leyline bindings that are in his list. Whereas Brad is going to be able to operate with like basic Plains Island relatively well. Now, Brad is playing with the assumption that his opponent may or may not have Blood Moon. And it looks like right now that option is not, because he's not really holding up those fetches. But at the same time, this Blood Moon is not going to be easy to navigate for either player.
It's to note that I don't see Leyline Binding in Jesse's list.
Oh, Jesse's also not playing.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Why does he have so many Triomes then?
Prismatic Ending.
Prismatic Ending? Okay. I suppose that's fair. It just seems
Really weird.
yeah, it's a little funky for sure.
Yeah, it's working. I mean, they made it this far.
I mean, clearly is working, yeah. Let's see. So looks like Jesse's looking to actually do something here. Proactivity in the control matchup is always so scary.
Yeah. So here comes Blood Moon, I wonder. Yep.
Yep, here's the Blood Moon. It baits a counterspell, probably.
Brad's probably gonna slam this counterspell.
Yeah. I don't think it's worth fighting over, but if it draws out a Dovin's Veto, Jesse's going to be extremely happy. Although it quite literally cannot. Oh, is Jesse planning to fight over this?
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, no!
Oh!
Draw.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad.
I think both these players might have a Lorien revealed lined up too, so they can actually go find an island.
Let's note that Brad does not have white.
Brad is probably locked off white for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. Jesse has a basic planes in play.
For sure, but I think Jesse is actually an island short versus Brad. So
Oh, he has 2. They both have 2.
no, but Brad just found an extra one.
Okay, but Brad doesn't have white, so I mean, there's a lot that could be said about
That's
that.
true. There is a ton of cards in Brad's hand right now that
that are dead.
cast this game.
That are dead. Okay,
Oh,
so
look,
there's
that's
the
a card
ring.
that we're gonna cast this game.
Let's see.
Tapping 4 mountains for my ring.
Yeah, trigger.
That is a card that makes the game extremely hard to win for Jesse. I mean, how wrong was I about that card last game, right?
I mean, it was insane.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate that Brad jumped the gun.
Yeah, for sure. Let's take a look.
That's
Gonna
another
draw
mountain.
A mountain?
We're gonna cycle for an island.
Mountains are great. Mountains are great.
No. We don't need to cycle. We just draw 3 cards. Or yeah, right?
Yeah,
That's
like,
for
we don't need to cycle. Like, we're just gonna draw them.
Yeah, we're just gonna draw a bazillion cards.
Yeah. Let's see. So I'm trying to get a look at Jesse's hand, right? I can see a Lorien Veiled. I can see a Narset. See a Dovin's Veto.
I do, and a Lauren's revealed.
The
What's
problem is that
fourth
it's really
card?
hard for him to cast any
It's
of
a
these
fairy?
spells and still hold
It
a
is
counter
the
magic.
fairy.
Whereas Brad has that, infamous double blue up that can basically deal with potentially anything should he have the counter spell to go with it. Now, it looks like Jesse's going to go ahead and test those waters.
Oh, we're gonna cycle draw a card.
We're going to cycle the draw, and we are not going to find anything.
Is that it's a fairy also in Jesse's hand? That's really notable with Narset out.
Well, also, Narset is going to make this ring significantly worse.
That's a force negation.
Yes, it is. Force of negation with a Narset out is synergy.
You know, I gotta hand it to Jesse playing a Narset combo here with the ring meta, because this is pretty spicy.
No, for sure. It looks like Brad's going to lead with Mountain. And unfortunately, Brad's entire hand is uncastable right now.
Yeah, that's kind of brutal.
It's absolutely backbreaking. We're going to go ahead and find another card.
Your reprieve is so good.
Reprieve is real good.
Dovin Veto,
Plays well with
back to
Blood Moon.
hand.
That's funny. Yeah.
Back to hand.
Yes, sir. Get rid of it. I don't want it.
Ugh, card's so good.
Get out of here. I have been wrong about Blood Moon in too many control matchups lately. I'm so tired. I'm just going to play this card. This card's great. Oh,
I've been telling you this for like a year and a half. This card's gas.
I've been playing this card for a year and a half. I
Look,
just didn't realize
look,
how good it was
O2
in the
drop.
year.
O2 drop in chat. What's the best card in Modern? Let me hear it, Chaz. Type out what the best card in Modern is. This man's gonna tell you Blood Moon.
It's definitely Ring. Wait.
We get a card.
No, we're good. Okay, we did it right.
Blood Moon right now has shut Brad completely off of white.
I don't know
He
how I
has-
feel about that ring going back to his hand. That's like not awful. Like,
Yeah, the Blood Moon right now is pretty huge.
Yeah.
There's a Field of Ruin that cannot be activated.
Mhm.
Brad has no access to white because
Yeah.
of it.
Worth noting, his entire hand is basically.
It's
white.
basically forcing Brad to have to top deck a plains
Yes.
before he can play almost any card in his hand.
And also, my man is about to go like end step Days Undoing, and Brad's gonna be real sad about that.
Yeah, we just upticked to Fairy, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Yikes.
Haha, funny game.
It's not funny. We just need a creature.
Yeah. Untap.
Steven, the camera focus
Upkeep.
keeps shifting. There it goes. It's fixed.
Oh no.
Ah, F6.
Yeah. It's all good, baby. If it is your turn, end the turn. Good thing it's not his turn.
I think he did do it in the draw step, Chaz. I don't think he did it in step.
No, he did it in the upkeep. This way he skips his draw step.
Yep, that's right, Chaz. Gyre is, but you can't Gyre because of the Blood Moon. So
Yeah.
the Blood Moon's in play.
Oh, actually, no. I think he did do it in draw step.
He did draw and draw
Yeah,
step.
yeah, you're right.
Chaz's talking about Gyre Sanctum locking him out, but he can't. There's a Blood Moon in play.
Can't. There's Blood Moon.
Best card
Best
of
card in
Magic.
Modern.
Yeah,
All right, let's see.
that is a disgusting hand. There's a
There's
reprieve.
a reprieve. This is so unfortunate. But can he win?
Jesse?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just needs to land a threat. He has enough to back his threats up.
Yeah, for sure.
He has-
I'm
He's
sure.
got counterspell. He's got reprieve. Like he's got a lot to back up his threats.
I think you'd really enjoy having another island. Oh wait, there's a threat.
You know,
Yeah.
the extra
Yeah,
card in the
I forgot about that.
yeah,
card.
in the
That's
command zone.
started in his hand,
Yeah.
and he's gonna go ahead and discard to hand size. I think.
I think he wants to untap and cast with
6-7,
backup. Brad doesn't need to pack it up just yet. He can draw some answers. They're not great. He needs a white source plus prismatic ending to start trying to come back. If he can get rid of this blood moon, there's some stuff he can do.
Lauren Revealed is like also not terrible here. That extra island can actually do a lot of work right now. I mean, yeah. Brad does have Phyrexian Arena on the battlefield, so
Brad has 2 planes main board, Chaz. He just needs to hit one of them to prismatic ending. Oh, there's a Shark Typhoon.
Oh, yep. All right.
Can we do something with the hard cast of Shark Typhoon and force it to
Wait.
fairy bound?
Oh wait. Card is. Oh, he's just gonna draw 3.
At
Cool. Wait, we
instant
can't do
speed
that.
because it's a fairy?
Yeah.
Wow.
What a cool card.
No, he got a single card.
Untap. Oh look, another Teferi. I don't think
I don't think Brad's coming back from this now.
Yeah.
I mean he's got outs, but they're not great, and he needs to start top decking them very quickly.
Oh,
he needs
there's
both
another
his
day
basics.
I'm doing. Yeah.
Second Teferi with a third in hand,
Mm-hmm.
and another you said Days Undoing in hand.
Yeah, another days I'm doing in hand. Put it on the stack. It's gonna resolve because there is another Teferi kind of protecting the first one. So
Yeah, and he upticked.
we're gonna draw a card in the end step.
It's a preordained.
Preordain. You
All
need
these cards feel so bad with Narset on the board.
Preordain is just demonic tutor, right?
Oh, you don't get to draw after you draw for your draw step.
Oh my god, no! It's so much worse than demonic tutor.
Narset.
Yeah, he's gonna
Narset
start
gets
discarding.
to get wrecked.
He's just discarding cards.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is painful to watch.
Yeah.
Uh,
Combo deck.
uh,
Jesse playing the look for planes game. If he can just put one threat on the battlefield, like the game. will
game's a
probably
wrap.
just end. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's your turn, it's exiled. Yeah, I don't believe Days Undoing says exile Days Undoing.
All right, an announcement to all of our Magic players as well, just in case you haven't played enough Modern today.
This card's kind of dumb.
We are still going to be hosting our
It's very
Plus
stupid.
Modern
There's like not many extra turn spells that don't say exile, and there's a very specific reason for that. It's so that you can't do the thing where you put it back in your hand, or in this particular case, your deck. It's not an actual loop, but with considering the amount of card advantage that Jesse could potentially be privy to, it does get really annoying really fast that the Days Undoings are going to shuffle each other.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
The potential of drawing one out of their first 7 it goes up.
It's a lot of work to turn Days Undoing into an instant speed time twister, but when you do, it closes games extremely quickly.
I mean, doing it in somebody's draw step is just brutal.
It's really, yeah, it's a lot.
Brad is just actively frustrated. I could understand why.
Yeah, for sure, me too.
And there's another Days Undoing, a subtlety, a force negation.
Did he draw planes though?
Jesse doesn't need a planes. He has one on board.
I would like a second plane.
There's
There we
second
go.
planes right there.
Second planes means we can cast solitudes. Although, yeah, you're right. He has subtlety. Yeah.
Subtlety with backup because
This
there's a
is-
force negation.
Also,
You either get to pitch cast it on Brad's turn, or you have untap with the blue source casted during your turn.
and also you just has to fairy.
Yeah,
All right, Phyrexian Arena, draw.
Phyrexian Arena.
I mean, that's what
All right,
it is.
Brad goes
right?
to 7.
7.
That's a Shark Typhoon and a
Oh,
planes.
and a planes.
That's getting counterspelled.
Yeah, I mean for sure, but he drew a planes. Relevant text.
This game's over. He's gonna flash and subtlety. Oh, he can't. He can't. He doesn't have
Yeah,
a blue
he doesn't
source.
have any blue sources.
Oh.
Yeah, this is unfortunate.
Yeah, I think I'm letting that Shark Typhoon resolve. I'm flashing and subtlety, coming to turn, swinging, and then you die to your ring. I don't think Jesse's seen that line. I think he was just playing super safe.
For sure.
Brad
it's
says,
very-
Brad says, screw it. I'm drawing a card.
Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point, right?
Yeah,
It's a 2-turn clock
go to
anyways.
2.
I'd go to 1. I don't care.
Counterspell to fairy.
Oh, let's go to fairy. One time. Never had
yeah,
it.
that's game.
I never had it.
Well, you guys, that was a little more interesting than
We're gonna make a
as
billion
expected.
shark token.
You know, that wasn't probably the best match we've called all day.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna give it to Fish and Tron. That was pretty sweet. However, you know, this is the conclusion of round 6. There's gonna be an extended break because they're gonna cut to the top 8 and then they're gonna do the deck checks for top 8. So you probably expect us to be back in an hour and 15 minutes. There's about 15 minutes left in round. Deck checks take anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes is what they've been doing. So we will catch you guys back in the top 8.
Absolutely.